on me. No, I think did Shanta Williams send this to me? It was on my Facebook feed from Yahoo Finance, which isn't a real finance. You can ignore anything coming out of Yahoo, except this is interesting. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal only used 2 rooms in his 76,000 square foot mansion. I I lived in an apartment that was 800 square feet one time. God, probably one that was even smaller than that. Now I think my studio apartment. This is like 80 times large. It's like having 80 of those. One guy. Is he divorced? Free advice, free financial advice. Don't get married. That way you won't get divorced. Just love each other instead. How about nobody gets married and we just love each other instead? How's that sound? Think it's cheaper and better for all of us that way. I'm no financial genius, but it would seem to me. NBA legend Shaq only used 2 rooms in his 70,000 square foot mansion. The kitchen because I like to eat, and the bedroom because I like to sleep. Shaquille O'Neal no longer owns his massive Orlando mansion as of 2024, but the story behind it reveals a lot about the NBA legend's personal life. Wasn't there a football player? Maybe it was basketball. He would just, I think he was homeless or borderline homeless, and then he'd wash up in the gym and he saved all his money. And I think his coach says, dude, you got to rent a place at least so you can sleep. And he didn't squander any of it, and he lived dirt like he'd stay at the cheap hotels, he got used clothes. What did I like Shaq? Don't get me wrong. I think he's kind of conservative too, but Shaq, what could have you done with the money, man? What could you have done with that money? And all those rooms that you weren't using? During a 2018 appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show, Shaquille O'Neal shared a surprising fact about a 76,000 square foot mansion. He only used 2 rooms, the kitchen because I like to eat and the bedroom because I like to sleep. He joked, offering a glimpse into his surprisingly simple lifestyle despite the enormous size of his house. Let me explain something to all you men and girls if you choose to. Men, your life is simple. You unnecessarily, I cannot emphasize that word enough. You unnecessarily, meaning you put your own bullet into your own foot. You unnecessarily make it more complicated by trying to get a cool thing or get fancy. The only thing, now having a garage for the first time in my life, the only thing I'd say you should splurge on is a garage because you can use it. You could put tools and you can work on things. And I'll tell you this, Better Bachelor, Joker over at Better Bachelor, man, does he got the setup. He's got everything is one room, his garage, his workout gym, his bedroom, the storage, the kitchen, and the car, the garage. It's all one big ass room. Like, he figured it out. He fucking figured it out. And it ain't that big of a place, but it's big enough. And this guy has a 70,000 square foot mansion. And guys, whether you're a famous NBA basketball player or you're just Joe average, all you need is a place to sleep and a place to eat. And I'd say a place to shower and shit. And if you realize that, and okay, I admit a garage, you want a nice garage. And once you realize that, you've cut so much of your expenses out of your life because over your life, the single largest expense is going to be your lodging. If you just cut the amount of square footage that you need, what is average square foot? A US house is like 2,500 feet, is it now? You can get by on about a quarter of that. So roughly a quarter. If you can spend a quarter of what other people do on their housing, you're doing probably cutting the lifetime amount of money you need by half, which means you only have to tolerate half the fucking bullshit from your dick sucking boomer boss, half the DEI meetings, hell, half the education. You don't have to go to school for all that time. You don't need to make 6 figs. I mean, it'd be nice if you made 6 figs. Let's say you made 6 figs and you need half the amount. You could retire. Geez, all of a sudden early retirement comes up on people's radar awfully quick. Half What do you got that's so important? What? Throw all your junk away, get rid of all your crap, scale down, man. Really, all the stuff I have fit into the back of a pickup truck. Curious DeGeneres asked, what about a living room or a den? Shaq shook his head. No, I never go to the theater, never go to the gym. He admitted leaving much of the house untouched. DeGeneres then asked Shaq how many bathrooms were in his house, to which he casually replied, I think 15. Yeah. DeGeneres joked, you know you're supposed to flush the toilets or run the water once a week so it doesn't smell. Shaq laughed, admitting, I never knew that. DeGeneres playfully suggested that his housekeeper should be taking care of it, to which Shaq responded with a grin, I don't have a housekeeper. I clean it myself. My God. Well, I mean, I guess he's retired. He has time to clean a 15 bathroom house. I don't even like cleaning my apartment when I had it. I don't like cleaning in general. I can find it meditative at times. Could you imagine? I'm sure he doesn't do a good job. The audience cheered quick before he quickly added, just playing, drawing more laughter. Okay, he does have a thing. The exchange showed Shaq's ability to balance humor with a glimpse into his life, revealing that even with all the luxury, he keeps things lighthearted and down to earth. No, he doesn't, because he still has the place. Now he got rid of it. Okay, fine. But at that point in time, he wasn't keeping it simple. He was making it very complicated. The mansion in Windermere, Florida, was packed with extravagant features, including a 17-car showroom, a cigar room, a wine cellar, a custom theater, and even a Miami Heat-themed basketball court. However, Shaq admitted during a podcast interview that the house didn't always bring him happy. No shit, really. He opened up about feeling lonely in the mansion. Have you seen Lego Batman? After his divorce, there it is. Hang on. Oh, God. Shaq divorce settlement. You just don't get married. It's not even a joke. Divorced in 2010. Settlement covered all terms of divorce, including property. Well, how much? Shaq giving up half of his $300 million net worth and $100,000 a month in child support. Oh my God. Just guys, don't get married. And I mean, like, you professional, but hey, you know what? You professional NBA types, right? You professional athletes in general. You don't need my course in minimalism, by the way. You really don't. But if you want to make your mental life a lot easier, you could afford it. You might want to take the minimalism course, like, oh, no wonder I'm so pissed off and frustrated all the time. Oh, he feels lonely. But I built this house for them, he shared. But after the divorce, I would come home to a 76,000 square foot house with nobody there but me. That was the worst part. Story continues. Shaq purchased the property back in 1993 for around $3.9 million. After nearly 3 decades, it proved difficult to sell. The mansion was initially listed for $28 million in 2018, but after struggling to find a buyer, he had to lower the price multiple times. By January 2019, price dropped to $22 million and later $16.5 million after making some updates and switching real estate agents. Even with the updates and price reductions, Shaq's mansion remained on the market for a while. Sold it to a dentist for $11 million. I'm actually sick that I sold it. What do you mean you're free, man? You're free. Despite the luxury, ba-da-ba, there. I saw guys, okay, and by guy, I mean rich and poor. Look, do you know the number one thing you do in your house? Do you know the number one thing you do? You sleep. You're unconscious. You're not around. You're not there to enjoy the house. And having the first, I got to build, quote, my dream home, and it was not that big of a home, or it is not that big of a home. The things that I really like, you could kind of see some of them in the background. It was, what do I see? What do I put up on the art? You can't like go in a room like, oh my God, I'm fucking enjoying this room. And having known that lived the life that most of my life, well, all my lodging up until relatively recently, the sole function was to keep me safe, keep me warm, and a place to sleep and shit and eat. It was a place to sleep, and then everything else was outside. Life was outside. You went biking, you went out with friends, there was work, there was dance classes, that was all outside. This is merely, I mean, really a hovel for a little animal to go and sleep, little hole for a little mouse or something. Although I always did I always found it very cozy. If you ever remember the old Tom and Jerry, Jerry always had a nice cozy house behind the wall. It was always nice. There was like nice furniture, very cozy. Bugs Bunny had the same thing with the hole in the ground. You know, you get this hole in the ground, but it's very furnished, very nicely. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't, you just need a place to sleep. For most of your guy's existence, you need a place to sleep. That's it. And then when you get financially stable and you all of a sudden find yourself, like, for example, Nuclear Cadillo. He has an apartment, he doesn't own it, but he's stable, he's staying there for a while. He's accessorized it a little bit, but I don't think he spent a shit ton of money on it. I think he's only got a one-bedroom apartment. What are you gonna do with 15 toilets? And of course, most of us aren't gonna be like Shaq. We're not gonna, you know, yeah, as a kid, you think that's a great idea. Yeah, 76,000 square. I wouldn't even know how big that is. Like people say, like 6,000 is a pretty big McMansion, right? What's 76? I don't even know what that is. I can't. It's like a campus, like an estate. Well, it is an estate. That is off everyone's table for the most part, including professional, super rich people. I don't know why you'd have such a place like that. No one should be having that. And I'm not, again, if you want to go ahead, build it. It's your money. You do what you want with it. But I'm saying nobody would use that. No one. Not to the full extent. But that's celebrity super rich. For those mere mortals, can we fucking put the last stake through the heart of the McMansion? I don't give a fuck what women say they want, guys. Knock it the fuck off. In addition to bad degrees, having way more house than you can afford, that's what's keeping you poor. That is, we gotta get in the right school district. Hey, Bipsy, shut the fuck up. We're homeschooling the kid. Now we can afford to go live out in the middle of nowhere or near work for much more affordable. And no, we're not going to get a starter home and then get a bigger home with a McMansion for the kids and then go back to a fucking starter home. We're getting bunk beds. We're going to renovate the basement. They're all going to live out there. They're going to get the fuck out all at the age of 18. I'm going to go back to banging you on the kitchen island when they're all gone. By the way, stay in shape for 23 years. Oh my God, how'd you pay off your house? I don't even know why there's McMahon. Why? Why? Because of the boozy. Is that it? Is that why you guys keep why? Again, I can understand the garages. If it was my world, if the world had any sense about it, it would be, this is not my idea. This is Bill Burr's idea. He'd have a 3-car garage below and a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment above. It'd be perfect. Perfect. Everyone would be happy with a fire pole going down between the 2 levels. And that could serve as a stripper pole for the hot women in your life. Why not? Who here wants to enjoy life before they die? No stripper poles for anybody. But on a more serious note, please, for the love of God, and they train you, man. They condition you to think, I need a big house. I need this. I need that. No, you need to view, yes, housing is an investment. That's true for most points and purposes. But it also helps to functionally view it as a consumer item. It is a service. It is a good. You are using it to sleep. It is lodging. I think you should all go in understanding that home is lodging. Okay? If it happens to go up in value, that's good too, but it is lodging. And you need to be clean, safe, and cheap, and not more than you need. And if you could stop, God, man, it starts in middle school where I got a fancy shirt. Now I'm popular. Then it goes to, oh, I go to the cool school. Then it gets, I get the good car. Now I get the girls. Then it goes to, I bought a $600,000 overpriced piece of McMansion shit, and I can't fix nothing. Oh, by the way, we got to take out home equity loans to afford to keep up with our car payments, our student loan bills. So we're actually losing money on the fucking thing. God almighty, stop buying how you don't need McMansions. Stop buying more housing than you need. Get the bare amount minimum. Get rid of your shit. If you want to have a family, go like I'll grant you that. I'll leave you a little bit of wiggle room. You get a house, right? And either you add on to it 2 rooms or it comes with 2 extra rooms. And before you and the missus have kids, those are your offices, right? You got kids, turns into kids' rooms, all right? 18 years old and 1 millisecond of age, that kid is fucking out or graduating from high school. And you take those back over, there's your offices. Or your fuck rooms, depending on whether you have a healthy relationship or not. So let's just call them offices for the vast majority out there. Oh, Cappy, you've seen so many people get divorced. And you're like, yeah, those are the numbers. Yeah, just get by with the least amount of housing you need. And you'll be surprised how quickly your financial troubles go away. So that's it. That's just an extreme example. Link below and open for basically the next 24 hours is Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. More like 36. If you want to get your spending under control, if you have trouble with spending, you're going to go out, you're going to blow $1,000 that you don't have next month because, I don't know, there's a hole in your heart. There's nothing to live for. So you fill it with cheap consumerism. And then you're like, oh my God, I got $20,000 in credit card debt. If you would like that nightmare to end, may I recommend taking the course Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice, link below, and also available on Teachable. If you just search Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. Clary, Teachable, you'll find it. That will be your first step in getting financially stable for the rest of your life, because the whole point and purpose of the course, it's not that hard to knowingly get your finances together. Spend less than you make. Good night, everybody. That's it. It's the psychological hurdle that is, where you have to give up. Most people in America have nothing to live for except materialism and consumer and eating and drugs. It's all consumption. It all costs money, which is why it all adds up on your budget at the end of the day or the end of the month. And until you find another point and purpose and reason to live that isn't spending money to consume things, you will face this hurdle for the rest of your life. And to make it sting and give you a swift kick in the nuts, or ladies metaphorically give you a swift kick in the nuts, it is $450. And it is that because, one, I want it to sting because nobody fucking listens otherwise. I'm sick and tired of giving, like, my book Worthless, that was like, God, 13 years ago, warning people about worthless degrees. No one did it. Now I made my $6 per book and I sold, I don't know, 30, 40,000 books over the years, I guess. Oh, we still have a student loan crisis? Yeah, fuck it. No, I'm not going to put my heart and soul into that shit. And then it does. No, you're taking this seriously. Was it young? If there is no pain, nobody learns. I figured that out. I've finally figured that out. Especially girls in the past. They never did anything right until you said, if you don't do this, I'm fucking out of here. Yeah. Do this or goodbye. And then you'd goodbye them. And they'd be like, I can't believe you left. What do you understand about the English language? I think doctors face the same thing. If you don't lose weight, you're going to die. And then you come back, oh, we got to cut off your foot. I told you. What did you think? You could just get fat forever? Were you listening to Democrats in the media and Lizzo and the American food industry saying big is beautiful? Oh, you were watching Victoria's Secrets, huh? You actually thought you could be 320 pounds and not only live and not lose a foot, but you would get laid and find love. What a fucking fool you were. Anyway, that's the level that this course is. No fucking bullshit. But it gives you a point and purpose. It's like, here's something else you might want to consider. And then when you sit down and think, by the way, this isn't just like I speak, this is not a magic spell. I speak the magic words. And then, oh, ping, oh, I'm done. I don't feel like spending money anymore. You're like, oh, really? And you gotta sit the fuck down and think about it a little bit, incorporate it into your mind, and then be like, oh, you're right. And then you're like, yeah, fuck this. I don't know why I was spending so much money. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. So there you go. And by the way, it's more like $500, $525 with tax, because everybody loves sales tax. We just can't tax people enough because it goes to help out everybody, right? Except everybody's paying the taxes, and then that hurts us all. No, don't think about it. Stop studying economics. Have some Karl Marx. He said everything's free. We just haven't figured it out yet. Anyway, Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. Link below. Why do I have 8 comments in it? Ray John, to a Canadian, female protagonist in media isn't woke. Wonder Woman. Oh, you're saying female protagonists in media that aren't woke. Well, there's a paradox here now, isn't there, Ray John? Because now you got to wonder. The past 5 years have ruined female protagonists for us all, haven't they? Because now we're wondering, like, okay, did you just throw in there for woke reasons? Well, female protagonists where she isn't woke. Yes, Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. That's I think the most recent one. Well, Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson. That was canon. I don't think that was a girl boss. I'm gonna go back in the olden days. The epitomal example would be, well, 2 would be Sarah Connor and Ripley from Aliens. Sarah Connor from Terminator. God, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I'm just gonna say Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. The female is the hero. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's a great movie. There's more. I'm sure if we sat and thought down, there's women involved. There's Mulan, I think was pre-woke, right? Gal, I'm sure I've seen them. There's got to be more than that. But yeah, it's just it wasn't as common back in the day. And now it's debatable whether you actually have a female protagonist or whether it's just a charity hire and it's going to be political propaganda and nobody's going to watch. Like, for example, the Marvels, I didn't see it. You know what? What's sad? It could have been a real cool. Who doesn't like Fox Force 5? Kill Bill. There's another one. Everybody generally like Kill Bill, female protagonist, but the whole idea of Fox Force 5. Who doesn't like a good old hot girls taking on crime? But that's gone now. Now it's now we got to say, did you put a fly in my soup? Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Cappy, happy wife, happy life. Don't you know? My wife was with her girlfriends and Madison. That whore got a brand new golf course home. We need a new home. Right. No. You need to realize. Look, I'll tell you this for free, all right? And I'm saving you already a lot of money. I'm saving you way more than the cost. Okay, a couple free bits of advice to save you way more than the cost of the course. One would be don't buy a McMansion or 76,000 square foot mansion. Okay, I think we got that one. I saved you guys a shit ton of money that way. And the other thing is just don't get divorced. Well, Cappy, how do I do that? There's only one way you don't get married. You could still, like I said, you could fall in love. You can have sex. You just can't get married. Those are 2 mutually exclusive things. I know there's a couple of you happily married people out there, and God bless you. I know you guys are the exception. I'll say it again. I was at the cigar lounge. People are like, "When are you and that? How long you and that girl been together?" I'm like, "Oh, about 15 years." And the older middle-aged lady says, "Well, when you gonna put a ring on it? Or when you gonna marry that girl?" I say, "Oh, I don't want to get married. I want to have sex." And then every guy laughed and every girl got pissed off because you know it's fucking true. So go with a girl that likes you and wants to have sex with you. Like, you don't have to bring it up, right? You want the girl, just, it's kind of like how they say, how should you pick a dog? Let the dog pick you. You know, there's a litter of dogs, puppies. You let the one come up to you. And it's just the easiest way. It's like, look, it ain't gonna work unless the girl likes you. You both gotta like each other. Men's standards are a little bit more lower. Like, yeah, well, I can have sex with her, so we'll find out if that goes anywhere. Girls, they gotta like you. Just let them. There's no convincing, cajoling. Just look for the girl. Wait for her to like you. Cappy, that might be never. You're right. Welcome to the real world. Truly ironic, isn't it? My truth, the king. So are you saying I shouldn't fill my garage with a bunch of clutter, but instead use to repair my 20-year-old car? So no nagging 25 Mercedes-Benz SUV? Yes. Yes. You're if you guys saw my garage, I'll tell you, let me let me help you out. But I'm gonna save you all another $450. Okay, I am. This is old man wisdom. You told old men to fuck off. My gender confused professor will tell me all the knowledge I need to know, who is also begging for a student loan bailout and never worked a real job. Get a garage. I would say a 3-car garage. Every man needs a 3-car garage with enough room to comfortably fit 3 vehicles in there, and get a high ceiling garage so you could put the drop down storage that hangs from the ceiling, but then the garage door goes underneath it. That is you guys, I know they told you want a Ferrari. No, 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 you do not want a Ferrari. I know they said you want a hot blonde with tig old bitties. No, 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 you don't want. Let me tell you what you really want. You want the hanging storage that goes above the garage doors when they open. You want nothing. I have a rule in my garage. Nothing but engines. Like, if there's an engine in it, it can touch the ground. So lawnmowers, cars, motorcycles, and my tool case. All right, your tools can be on. Otherwise, it's on a fucking shelf or it's hanging on the wall, like my tools, like my gardening tools, and then all that other shit, like seasonal stuff usually, or stuff you use once a year. That is not on the ground. That's hanging up above, out of mind, out of sight, doesn't wear on you. That is happiness, sirs. That is the key to happiness, is hanging garage storage. And you could tell, you bring someone in, you could tell, old man, like, oh yeah, you got that, hey, yeah, yeah. And then you got a girl who won't even notice it. Oh, this car is old. Ooh, it's got rust. Have you noticed the storage? Doesn't that want to make you like commit to me and suck my dick? Look at the storage up there. Now, if girls were smart, they say, look at that guy. He's got storage hanging up from the garage. And notice the shelving and nothing's touching the ground. And he keeps this very clean. I bet the entire foundation of this house is solid. We won't have to worry about taking out home equity. This guy is a stable, reliable, responsible man. That's what every girl does when they come in. Oh my God. The number of women that have tried to woo me from my girlfriend because they came into my house. My goodness, he put grommets on the wires. That's impressive. I'm very impressed. Ooh, I should try to hoodwink this guy. Yes, you want tools. And yes, you will fix your. Just don't go with German cars, man. They can't be fixed. They just break down all of their pain in the ass. Forget German cars. No Audis, no Beamers, no Mercedes. Nothing. Nothing. All right. Yes, and you do not have clutter. You get rid of all your shit. All of it. My truth, the king, $5. If I was an 18 to 21-year-old boy these days, I wouldn't go to college. Instead, I'd work out, get to into welding, electrician, plumber, and hog max. Oh, hag max like a motherfucker. Hag, really? I heard about that. Look, guys, can you just it's not like 50-year-old women need any more encouragement, all right? I would do all that, and then, honestly, if I were to do it all over, I probably would go overseas if I wanted to get married or find a committed girl. Otherwise, truthfully, I'd just keep on dancing. And I'd go to town to where it was popular. Major Towel, $5. I've always wondered if there's a connection between high IQ and doing stuff versus low IQ and having stuff. Um, I did some research that's adjacent. I don't have the answer to you, to be perfectly. I don't have the data. I thought high IQ would prevent you from being brainwashed. It does not. There's one could argue a separate set of intelligence named street smarts or distrust. Having a high IQ does not prevent you from getting hoodwinked or brainwashed. Look at all the people in academia who, although not as smart as me, truthfully, do have significantly high IQs. You know, a professor's probably in a 115, 120 range, but they're hoodwinked by brainwashing. High IQ do now. So, relating it to your statement, low IQ and having stuff, you're hoodwinked into wanting to have a lot of stuff. There's some strong genetic programming for you to consume more always. That's to keep you alive because we've always ran caloric deficits. Um, so that's ingrained into you. So there's a bias there. But a low IQ person, like, oh, bro, like those idiots who had to do a video on Hellcat Chrysler Charger, Hellcat Challengers. Uh, and I have like, why are these? Why this is an expensive car? Why are all the incompetent douche canoe men getting these? It turns out because Chrysler had it had no underwriting standards, none whatsoever. So I would believe there's a correlation between low IQ and having a lot of shit. And then high IQ and low IQ, I'd also say it correlates with laziness. High IQ and doing stuff, I don't know. I don't know if high IQ people are more active. That might be an interesting study. And there are two other having stuff versus doing stuff, those aren't the same thing. They might generally come at the expense of one another, but yeah, there's multiple variables here I'm trying to assess. But if I had to put my money on it, I don't think you'd see a correlation between high IQ and doing stuff. I do believe you'd see low IQ and having stuff and bad finances. Journey Trials enjoy $5. I think a nice apartment buildings is better than a house with the housing prices right now, especially in the Virginia and Fairfax County. Yeah, if you got rental property, sure. Assuming you own the property and not the city or the county with all the rules and their taxation, sure. Ken Rose, $5. He says, hello, Ken. Hatton Clogs, $2. Glory to our God, Emperor, my truth, Magic Cappy. Truth is God. I love to see you argue against reality is God. Not a sentient God. It's just there. I love seeing humans who are so desperate to be lazy and have their egos and their feelings protected just argue with reality. Again, I don't think there's ever been a time in the history of the world where women were literally arguing that big is beautiful. Okay, good luck. Yeah, truth. You either get real comfy with the truth and accept it for what it is, or you suffer mightily. Alan Beeblebox, $10. This summer, my bike got stolen. Now I walk to work. I have 7 figures retirement savings. Am I being too cheap or too healthy by not buying another commuter bike? Get another bike. I mean, you're at the point, if you're 7 figures retirement savings, unless you're like really young, you're there. You got FU money, and you're also a minimalist. And now you're at the paradox that you're not going to live through your money and you've suffered for no reason. Now, this doesn't mean you go and you piss away all the money. And I'm going to be coming out with an essay. It's not going to be a book. It'll be an essay about post first world problems, where everyone has these first world problems, and I argue that there are zero world problems. There's another level above that once you get beyond the materialism, and that is things like convenience, ease, peace, contentment. I'm not saying a life of luxury. I'm not saying you're spoiled, but yeah, get another bike, man. Um, you could eat out occasionally, treat yourself. Don't make it a hobby or habit. I think you should travel, absolutely. That's the number one thing I would be doing if I had a lot of money. I'd be traveling a lot. But yeah, you can back off on the throttle now. You've done it. My truth, the king, $2. Vengeance is mine, say it, my truth. Oh, vengeance is mine, saith the truth. Say it, the my truth. I would love my truth. You ever know? I guarantee you 100% correlation. People who say my truth are fucking miserable. They're fucking miserable. Because life just beats the shit off them because they're too lazy to actually go get a job. Journey Trials of Joy, $5. Do you think today's society is better off if we legalize prostitution? How many men are virgins into their 40s? I think it would be better off. I can't get more depraved. I mean, prostitution is pretty much legal now anyways. Again, I don't differentiate between you giving a woman a $5,000 ring and paying for everything and losing half. Like, look at Shaq. Really, is Shaq's ex-wife really his wife, or did he just pay her to have sex with him? I mean, really, at the end of the day, what's your analysis? Because I'm trying to figure that out. And she gets a perpetuity. She gets a pension afterwards. But if we stated it and whatever, the stigma went away for both men and women, which I'm kind of like, there's no difference. You could not shame me for being a John. You couldn't, because everyone's paying for it. Yeah, if it became more socially acceptable, or like there'd be more supply and then more demand would result, because who doesn't like chocolate ice cream? It would, if you taxed it, yeah, you would definitely profit. People would profit. Both men and women would be better off. A little bit of extra tax revenue. Adult, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm all for it. You have to worry a little bit about STDs, so you have to kind of make sure to prevent that from happening, because otherwise, whatever economic gains you might have now, you got to treat it with medical industry. My truth, $2. Hey, an elder is speaking. Let's all gather around. That's right. That's right. Farming tacos, $5. Cappy, you have inspired me to buy a house with only one room and an indoor track so that I can speed walk on radio. Well, hold on. Now, look, if you just need a place to sleep, okay, and you're out there, cool, you can get a 1-bedroom. But what I'm going to recommend you do is, one, look into the bachelor hut idea, because if you're going to get contractors and have them all line up the trucks and everything, it's going to be cheaper in the long run for you to build something once the way you want it the first time. So I would really look into that bachelor hut. All right. 1-bedroom apartment up above, 3-car garage below. Right, because they're bringing out the trucks. They're going to be running the lines. They're going to be running sewage. They're going to be running electricity or whatever. So you might as well have that. And then if you don't want the 3-car garage, may I recommend what my buddy Khan has done? He's just got a mother-in-law 1-bedroom house. Room and shower. Shower's a separate bathroom, shower on one end, bedroom, living room with a kitchenette. That's all you need. Okay. So not only one room. Now, okay, Joker, if you talk about what Joker's got basically a big garage where it's all in one room. So you could do that too. All right. But his footprint, it's still the same amount of square footage. So yeah. But I thought you meant like some little one room. I'm like, well, you need to put, so he basically has what is it? A 40 by 25? Maybe 50 by 25. It's sizable. It's like a 3.5-car garage, and he lives in it. He's cool, man. He's cool. All right. That's it. Link below, Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. We'll talk to you guys later, Toodles.